Good morning, everybody. Hello, 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 and welcome. I'm Suzana Mihajlovic. Welcome to the Heart Brain Mastery session today. So this is a 60-minute session. We've got music in the background that I'm just going to turn down. So this is a 60-minute session where we will be going into some deep information about how to create the success that you want. Now, just bear with me for a moment so that I can turn the music down just a little bit. I hope it's not, there we go. Okay. Oh, here we go. Okay. No, still, okay, here we go. Welcome. So, as I mentioned, this is a 60-minute session all about you, okay? I've got some incredible people here today that I'm so proud of having you all. We had about 125 people join us. We just advertised, I think, about a week and a half ago, most of which this time were from Europe. So hello to all of our friends from Europe that I think it's about 1 o'clock, 1:30 there in the morning that aren't able to make it live, but welcome. Anyway, you'll obviously be watching the recording, but those of you that are here live, welcome. I think the live people are predominantly from Australia and the USA, so welcome. I can see some new faces here also that you haven't been a part of Your Two Minds. So in the next 60 minutes, I'm going to share with you some information that you can take home, take away with you, and start to implement so that you can make the changes that you want, that are necessary to you and your life and your business. Now, one of the things that I love about what I'm going to share with you today is that change does not have to be difficult, okay? How many of you have tried to change your results and you're doing all of the work that you're told by, coaches, by, that you've listened to on the YouTube channels, you've studied self-help books, and you're doing the work, but you're not seeing the change, okay? I know what that feels like, okay? I have been in this industry for my whole adult life, so over 35 years. And I have seen people read self-help books, do the work from self-help books, and not get the results that they want. I've also worked with people that have paid a lot of money to get coaching and they don't get the results that they want. And there's a number of reasons why. I think some of the information is misleading, but that's okay. And some people that are doing the work, including me, okay, even with my studies in psychology and everything that I've done, okay, including me, doing the work, but not much changed for about 18 months, okay? So I'm going to introduce to you some concepts that you may or may not have heard about that are going to help you start to calm your nervous system down, and they're going to help you start to not only implement what you need to do, but they're going to help you start to become the change that you want to be, okay? So let's get started. I'm not great with slides. What I love to do is I love to see faces and people. That's what I love to do. But I'm going to try and share some slides with you too. And the reason why is I know some of you are visual learners, okay? But also the information that I'm sharing today is not woo-woo, okay? It's not something that Suzana has made up. It's a combination of over 30 years of evidence, okay? So there's a lot of teachers out there talking the talk, but where is the evidence? Okay, so I think the slides are really important for you visual learners, but also so that you can see that this is not something that's been made up. This is not something that Suzana has seen on Facebook or taken from others. Okay, the parts that I've taken are from my own experience of over 30 years, my own experience of how I have manifested huge success, my client's experience. Your Two Minds is coming up to 9 years next week. Okay, so 31st of January 9 years ago was the date that I left full-time employment. Never looked back. Okay, so the evidence from my clients, but also science. So let's get started. Let's get started. And I just want to mention that I am super excited because we've got all of you here, but we've also got an incredible young person here too by the name of Amy that I met only a couple of months ago, who's doing incredible work. So I saw your name pop up, Amy. So welcome. Welcome also to my colleague Sue, to Sharon. Welcome all of you. Ali, welcome, welcome, welcome. So what we'll be doing, I'll be teaching the basics about heart and brain coherence and why it's important. Now, this is only an element what I teach. I don't want any of you going away and saying right or feeling like everything that you want in this one session, okay? Some of you would have seen the testimonials that have come through in the past few weeks. My followers, I'll be going through a few more testimonials at the end. The people that have succeeded so highly in the past few months, yes, are doing the heart-brain coherence work, but they're also doing a combination of other things too, okay? So what I love about Your Two Minds is we work with the whole of you. We work with the whole of you, okay? And this is one element today, the heart-brain coherence, that will help you start to change some of your baselines. And Suze, I want to say hi to you too. I love it that you're here. Welcome. All right. So enough about the introductions. This is about you. And you are here. You've come here today just for one person. And that is you. That is your beautiful self. So I invite you to just take away, move anything that's on your mind, responsibilities, stresses, past mistakes, whatever it is that you've brought to this session, just put it outside just for the next 60 minutes. It will be there, I promise. It will be there when we finish up. It's not going to go anywhere, okay? And I want you to put your focus on the most important person in the whole world. Who's the most important person in the whole world? It's you, right? It's not your children. It's not your husband. It's not your pet. It is you. And if you don't start treating yourself like the most important person in the world, your children won't be able to be the most important people in the world for themselves, okay? Your partner won't be getting the best out of you. And also, I know many of you are here for your business. Many of you are entrepreneurs. I tend to attract entrepreneurs, which I love. I absolutely love. We've serviced over 10,000 people in the past 9 years, something that I'm very, very proud of. And about 95% of them were naturally entrepreneurs at different levels. Some weren't, which is okay. This information you can take away for any part of your life, okay? But I tend to attract beautiful entrepreneurs. So this session is for the most important person in the world, and that is you. So let's take the focus on you. Now, in order for you to change anything in your life or in your business, we need to look at your current situation. Okay, so why are you here? Why have you showed up today? Everyone's so busy. You've got a beautiful life. You might be studying. You might be, running a huge business. You might be a parent. Everyone's so busy. Why have you taken 60 minutes out of your day to be with us here today? And I want you to think about, and I hope you have a pen and paper. And if you do, please write a few things down, okay? Because it's what you do while we're together right now that you are going to take and move into your life when we finish. So what are your results like currently? So why are you here? So some of you are here for business, some of you are here for your personal life. What have your results been like? What are they like currently? What would you like to change? Do you have any areas of frustration? Just write them down. What would you like to gain from this training or this session? What's the one thing that you can do? And what are the changes that you'd like to make in your business or your life? Just a couple of things there. And I want to say hi to Angie too from Perth. It is so good to have you. Welcome. Okay. So we cannot change anything unless we know ourselves. That classic quote, I think it was Aristotle, know thyself, centuries ago. It's not famous because it sounds good. It's famous because in those two words, there are secrets. There are the clues that will set you free. Know thyself. So we know where we currently are. We know our pain points. We know our frustrations. And now the big question is, what do you want? What do you want? You see, I've worked with thousands of people. So our community, Your Two Minds, has served over 10,000 people in the past 9 years. Isn't that just absolutely incredible? It's been a childhood dream of mine. I didn't know we were going to have, Zoom or whatever as an adult, but I knew I was doing this work. So therefore I went and studied psychology. My 35 years of experience, and I have worked with many people. I've worked with children, I've worked with families, I've worked with professionals, adults, students. I've also led huge teams in my career. And the reason I say that is, even though I've been impressed by so many people and who they are, one of the hardest questions for people to answer is, what do you want? What do you really, really, really want? What's that thing deep inside you that keeps coming up? That desire, that vision, that thing in your heart. What is it? You see, and when I dug deeper with my clients, with my teams, with my colleagues, I have so many colleagues reaching out, asking, what are you doing? How do you do it? I'm supervising some colleagues at the moment and coaching them too. And it fascinates me that people do not have clarity. And the reason they don't have clarity is because for years and years, they've been told they can't have what they want. Or they're living a life subconsciously, unconsciously, where they are serving other people to the point where it's detrimental to themselves, okay? So I lead a life of service. That's what fulfills my life. I think everybody needs to lead a life of service. But, excuse me, when you are asking externally, so when you're basing your own desires on what is happening externally, okay, so my husband wants to buy that house, even though I don't want to live in there, I'm living in there. I want to start my own business, but you know, we don't have the money. Whatever it is, okay? So whenever you're looking external validation, you are giving your own power away. You see, you have absolutely enormous power within you. You absolutely do. And again, that is not me saying. It's not something that I've made up. Emily, great to see you here. David, hello. It's not something that I've made up. In my 35 years of experience, lifetime experience, I was actually doing this work as a child. In my 35 years experience, if you want to call it the professional experience, study after study after study after study that I have read, that I have researched, that I've written papers on, client after client after client after client that I have seen, my teams have seen in the past, indicate that you, and I say you based on the hundreds and thousands of people, when you look at my whole career we've worked with, you, based on all of that research and all of that experience, you, my friend, you, David, you, Sid, Coach Sid, you, Pedge, I know Pedge, I just got a message from you, it's 1 o'clock in the morning in Europe. Yasna in Europe also got a message from you. You'll be watching the recording. You have infinite potential within you. Now, you've probably heard that. You've probably even read it. But you see, one thing I know absolutely for sure is that you, whether you're on this call live or you're one of the 150 that will be watching the recording, that you don't really believe it. You probably don't even understand it. Most people I talk to don't understand it. But we're going to keep it simple just for this session, okay? Because we've only got 60 minutes and I've got jam-crammed information in here. We're going to keep it simple, okay? The first step, understand where you currently are. Remember, know thyself. Know thyself. Next step, you must understand where you are, let it go, and ask yourself, what do I really, really want? If I could have anything, what is it? And the reason for that, if you're going to tap into your infinite, imagine that word. What is the definition of infinite? The definition of infinite means it goes on forever and ever and ever and ever. That's you. You see, you haven't even scratched the surface of the surface of the surface of your potential. And you probably can't scratch the surface of your potential in this one lifetime. But the ultimate question now is, what do you want? What do you really, really, really want? If you could have anything, if you could use more of your infinite potential, what would life look like for you? What would business look like for you? You see, if you are struggling, you're not understanding the truth of who you are. And I have a great way of waking that up for you. But the very first step is digging deep. What do you really want? And the next step is knowing what you want for the next 12 months. You guys are all fortunate. You know, we haven't had that many people sign up for this. 150 is probably not even half what we normally have, and that's probably because of the new year. But you're so lucky. You guys are the winners, because even though it's January, you have signed up. You have showed up physically. You've watching the recording. And you have the rest of the year to actually make it happen. So in 12 months' time, New Year's Eve this year, what do you want? You see, your mind needs clarity. That word mindset. I laugh about that because you're going to experience a bit of a contradiction in a minute. But anyway, your mind, your energy, your force, that infinite potential that you truly have and are needs clarity. It is the first law, okay? Order. Think about nature. If I was to plant a seed, and excuse me, Suze, and other people from the Your Two Minds community, you've probably heard me say this over and over again, but if I was to plant a pink apple seed in the ground and I nurtured it, I gave it water, I gave it the minerals, the soil, the healthy soil that it needs, eventually that seed will germinate and a plant will come up out of the soil. I don't know exactly how long it takes, but probably about a year after, you'll have a tree. And that tree will eventually bear fruit. I want you all to open up to this because there's a huge clue in what I'm saying. Not just one, but a few. Okay, when you get this, you understand abundance. And it's not just about the law of attraction here. It goes way more than that. Okay, so please open up. Even though some of the concepts that I'm saying seem simple, open up. Open your whole self up. So you see, one day that tree will bear fruit. What type of fruit will it bear? Will bananas start growing from that tree? Absolutely not. Will tomatoes grow? Absolutely not. Some of you are probably laughing right now. What the hell? Of course not. Lemons? Of course not. Okay, so we have a pink apple, an apple seed. Will a Granny Smith apple start to grow from that tree? Absolutely not. So even though it's an apple seed, the only apple that you will get is what? A pink lady. A pink lady apple. That is exactly how you work. You're a part of nature. That is exactly what science tells us about you. You need order, okay? A cluttered mind, what creates anxiety? How much anxiety do we have in the world? My God, almost every single person you talk to is either fear-based or anxious. Really great for the pharmaceutical companies, right? Because they don't know how to calm their mind. They don't understand the truth of who they are. Now listen to this. Listen to this. Okay, let's open up a little bit further. So that tree, I want you to get this. I want you to really get this. I work in partnership with Brian Proctor in one of our programs. And when I shared this with him too, he's like, oh my God. Now this is Bob Proctor's son. He's like, oh my God, the penny dropped for me too. I've never heard it that way. So please open up to this. Okay, you hear stuff about law of attraction from people that don't freaking understand the laws. Listen, listen. So you have infinite potential inside you. Your potential goes forever and ever and ever and ever. You haven't even scratched the surface of the surface. You probably won't even scratch the surface of the surface. Now let's go back to that apple seed, that apple tree. So once that tree starts to bear fruit, will it have just one pink lady apple on it? Absolutely not. Unless it's diseased. Unless it's diseased. Unless there's something wrong in the soil or the tree itself. How many apples will it have? So my parents, they're European, they have lemon trees, plum trees, they have nashi fruit, they've got their vegetable garden. Every year, you cannot count the number of apricots. They had hundreds of apricots this year. Hundreds, literally hundreds of one tree. Now, listen further. Does that tree just bear fruit for one season? Absolutely not. If you look after it, it will bear fruit season after season after season after season for years and years and years. Let's go deeper. Every single seed in that apple, so how many seeds are in an apple? I counted once up to 10. I don't know. Sometimes there's 2, 3, maybe more than 10. But even if there was 5, so we have hundreds and hundreds of fruit on the tree. Yet every single one of those apples or apricots, so the apricot has 1 seed, yet every single apricot, listen further, has the potential to become a tree. Every single pink lady apple has got several potentials to become an apple tree. So out of 1 seed that knows exactly where it's going to be a pink apple. It's not going to be a Granny Smith. It's not going to be an apricot. There is infinite abundance for years and years and years. Goes on forever. If you have understood that, thank you very much. You've got a massive clue that you can leave and use and start to create the abundance that you want. You see, you are a part of nature. You, Sue, you, Sharon, Ali, David, you are meant to be abundant. But if you have infinite potential, you are meant to be infinitely abundant. Abundant in business, abundant in relationships, because abundance is who you are. However, you absolutely need clarity in your mind. You have to be like that pink lady apple seed. You see only one thing where you're going, and that's it. You've made a decision. At the end of this session, you're going to see some testimonials. And each one of these people, these are my more recent testimonials. I have a heap of them. We've literally got hundreds. But the most recent ones, they've done that. They've had absolute clarity in their mind, and they are aligned with their own abundance. What do you want? What do you really, really want? I want you to write down at least 2 things right now that you are going to have. You're going to be, do, or have by the end of this year. Please write those down now. If you can't write a full sentence, just write a word, because what you do in this 60 minutes that we have together is going to determine how beautifully your seed starts to grow. Okay. Some of you don't know me. I think most of you on this call know me. Some of you don't. Thank you for showing up, even though you don't. Okay, so obviously I'm Suzana Mihajlovic. I am the founder of international success and elite performance coaching company, Your Two Minds. We are international. We have clients from every single continent in the world except for Antarctica. And I'm telling you now, we are working on Antarctica. And it's not just penguins that live there, by the way. So we are focused on helping those workers out in Antarctica too. I'm a lifetime student, as I mentioned, of this. I've got several degrees, okay, from Australian universities as well as universities in the UK and Japan. I'm also a top Proctor Gallagher Institute consultant. One of my adult dreams for years was to work with the incredible Bob Proctor. He has become, and be friends with him. He did become my dear friend, and he said on stage in a forum that I had him speak here in Melbourne, Suzana is one of our very top people in the world. I'm an author. I'm also a certified Heart Math Institute trainer, and I've spoken on quite a few stages around the world. So that's me. This is not about me. The most important person in the room is you, but it goes to show that you are not working with someone that's just done a 6-month coaching program and calls themselves a coach. There are brilliant coaches out there, brilliant. There's also people that have not had this caliber of experience. So let's put the focus back on you now. And this is where the contradiction comes in place. So earlier I said the first, what did I say? The first law is order, right? And where do we need the order? We need order in our mind. Now this is where it sounds like a contradiction. It's not just about mindset. Far out. You know, when I hear people say, and you've probably heard this too, let me know if you've heard this, oh, just be grateful. Gratitude is so important. I do my gratitude every morning, or most mornings. I did it this morning. I had a whole page. Gratitude is a state that you need to be in. Then they also say things like, oh, just think positively. Who's had that? Yeah, I can't see anyone say yes. Maybe you haven't. I definitely have. And it makes me cringe. I cringe whenever I hear someone say that. It shows to me that they don't have the training and experience behind them, okay? Because we all know, you would have experienced this, and even me who's been doing this work literally all my adult life, 35 or so years, literally all my adult life, even me, after all of these accolades and successes that I've had to this day, sometimes mindset, your thoughts are really difficult to change. Would you agree? Okay, definitely. It's not just about mindset. Okay, and if you're a coach that's on this call or watching this recording, telling people just to change their thoughts, you might want to change that too. Okay, get some training. Okay, really empower yourself so that you can, if you want to do this work, you've got to empower yourself to empower others. You've got to get the knowledge. Otherwise, you're not giving the full picture. So, mindset is absolutely important. Absolutely important. But you know what? Some of your thoughts will come into your mind faster than the speed of light. Can we stop the speed of light? Absolutely we can't. So I am one that will say mindset is absolutely important. We started this off with saying your mind needs order, okay? But it's not just about mindset. Now, if you're also like me, we know you've probably experienced that mindset, some of the deeper habits, some of the subconscious habits that you have, your paradigms, are really, really difficult to change. They might take 6 months. There was one for me that took 18 months. And for some people, I've seen even more. Okay? And I'm here to tell you, you infinite, you incredible being, I'm here to tell you from all of that experience, it does not have to take that long. It does not have to take that long. At the end of this session, you'll see one of my incredible people shared last year in public, so it's not something I've made up, in a group session, that she put her goal in place July. So for those of you that are not from Australia, our financial year is 1st of July to 30th of June. She put her financial goal year figure, she set it in July. By November, she shared that she actually had already doubled that goal, okay, in 5 months. Didn't even take her 12 months as she expected, already doubled. Okay, so if you're having difficulty changing your programming, that's okay, because it can change. It can change a lot sooner. So research since the 1800s shows that your heart, let's see why it's not just about mind. Your heart is not just an organ that pumps blood, but it has infinite wisdom. Infinite wisdom. And evidence over 30 years of modern research shows that your heart sends more signals to your brain than your brain does anywhere in your body. Okay, so your heart is actually your first mind. So remember when I asked you, what do you really want? Dig deep. It's here. We have to move from here, because that's the monkey mind, to here. What do you really want? You see, Swinburne University, one of the universities that I did my postgraduate studies, their School of Entrepreneurs, listen to this, did a research study on serial entrepreneurs, people that have been successful in business. No matter what venture they get into, they've been successful over and over again. And they found two common things in these people that are successful over and over again. And one of them was that they listened to their heart more than logic. Okay? They were intuitively guided. So this is research. So what is heart-brain coherence or heart-brain communication? So your heart has a complex nervous system of its own. We call it the heart-brain, okay? It sends far more information to your brain than your brain sends to the heart or elsewhere. And patterns in the neural signals from your heart, listen to this, affect brain centers involved in perception, emotional experience, cognitive functioning, and self-regulation. So those people, and if you've been one of these people, that's okay, but those people that are telling you to just change your thinking, I want you to start to challenge them. This is why just changing. Now, sometimes, and Suze and Ali and who else has been in my programs here today? Yasna's away. But those of you that have been in my programs, there are times when I'm going to say, okay, I want you to reframe that. I want you to think about that differently. So I'm not undermining mindset. Mindset is absolutely critical to your success. But when thoughts are difficult to change, when paradigms are difficult to change, it's not just about writing it over and over and over and over again. That's a part of it. That's something that I do. But I've also done that in the past, and it's taken 18 months to change. When some thoughts and states are difficult to change, it's not just about here. It's about regulating so that we can change those neural pathways. And studies show that your brain is malleable. So when I started psychology, studying psychology back in the early 90s, what we learnt and the studies on your brain showed that your brain does not change much after about the age of 20, okay? What most recent studies show about your marvelous brain is that your brain stays malleable throughout your life if you use it, okay, if you use it. Further studies show now by regulating your nervous system, another clue, by regulating your nervous system, you can change your neural pathways, your past paradigms, your trauma. How many of you are allowing past trauma to block your success? I think most people are. So we need to calm the nervous system down so that then we can change those neural pathways. Okay? So we have two parts of our nervous system. Your parasympathetic nervous system is the one that we want to activate. Most people are activating the sympathetic nervous system. 99% of the population, I think, is doing that, which means you are releasing too much cortisol. We need cortisol, but when we release too much cortisol, we are consistently in a state of anxiety, fight or flight. So therefore, nothing can change. You constrict. Okay, so therefore you can't align, you can't attract, you can't tap into your full potential. When we release and we activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the calm, we also conserve energy, we are able to self-regulate, and we expand. We expand to attraction. What also happens is because your heart is regulated, your heart is coherent, what does it do? It is sending clearer messages to your brain. There is a part of your brain called the amygdala and the thalamus, okay? Now, I go into this deeper in my heart-brain program for success, but they are set. That's why your paradigms are set. But when you calm your whole nervous system, you're able to change them a lot easier. So this is why you have not been able, one of the reasons why you have not been able to change your paradigms. This is why some of you feel stuck. I don't even like that word, the S-T-U-C-K. Has anyone ever felt S-T-U-C-K? I know many people do. I know many people do. So in order to get un-S-T-U-C-K, okay, because I don't believe that anyone is ever stuck. You're stuck if you are locked up in a cell, right? You're stuck if you're, I don't know, I had this image of quicksand come up. I don't know why. But you're stuck if you're in those situations. But when it comes to you and your potential, you can only be stuck in a cell if you allow yourself to be. And the thing is, that cell door is wide open. It's up to you to step over the threshold. The key is there, it's open. But you've been programmed to stay in your cell. You've been programmed to be you, to be Sue Thomas, to be David, to be Suzana, to be Sharon, to be Amy. So therefore, what stops you is you think Amy, Angie, is who you've always been and who you'll always be. You have to think beyond that. You have to change that. And an easier way to change. Now, it's not just all about the heart either. The work that we do at Your Two Minds is not just about your mind. Very important. It's not just about your heart. Your heart is extremely important. It's about including every part of you, including the invisible, so that you can change and move into having the goal that you want. 31st of December this year. Who has made a decision to actually have the goal that they want to have this year? This is it. No more. You want to have, you are going to have, it's not wanting anymore. It is done. How many of you have made that decision? I want to actually hear from you before I go ahead. Let me just jump into the chat box. Just going to have to, 1 second. I want to hear who is serious. Sue Thomas is. Of course Sue is. Sue's always ready. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, David. Yes, yes, yes. No problem, Amy. It is done. It is done. Absolutely. Good, Coach Sid. I want to see you thrive by the end of the year, okay? All right. Great. And David said it's far deeper than just pause. Absolutely. Absolutely it is. So, I'm just going to put the slides up. So, you can have it. You can absolutely have it. You can absolutely have it. But we must incorporate the whole of you. Mindset, heart set. There's evidence about the gut now too. Action, the physical part of you is very important. What I have found though, working with, and this is one of the reasons why I decided to leave my incredible job that I had 9 years ago. It was fantastic. My incredible team, I had 150 people, a budget of close to 20 million. And I decided to leave that because the main reason was because I knew that there was so much more potential in our clients that was untapped. You see, we were working with probably about less than 1% of the full potential of our clients. They were getting changes. Okay, this was all well-researched stuff. We only did research-based therapy with the families we work with. Okay, we weren't allowed to use anything else. Okay, and of course you need the evidence. But we were only tapping into 0.001%. Why do I say that? Some of you know. I know Ali would know. I know Suze would know why I say that. Because what evidence shows us now about you, in the past 15 years, there's been a whole search of evidence in terms of who are you beyond your body? Who are you beyond your brain? And 99.9999% of the truth of who you are is actually invisible. It's an energy. So in order for you to tap into your full potential, you also need to be tapping into that. So it's not just about the mind, it's not just about the heart, it's about tapping into the whole person. And that's what we do at Your Two Minds. Your Two Minds stands for your conscious and your subconscious mind, your heart and your brain mind, okay? Your physical and your invisible mind, the whole person. The whole person. That's what's important for me. And when I started to do this work in my own business, I started to see that skyrocket success, the quantum leaps. I started to see people break the 7 figures and beyond. I started to see people's relationships improve, their children doing incredible stuff. Okay? Let's bring it down to the heart, because that's what we're talking about today. So, research also shows us that your heart is your intuitive center, and I mentioned that with the Swinburne study, but also I'm an avid fan of, huge fan of Tesla, Nikola Tesla. I actually was fortunate to speak at the Tesla Science Foundation conference in New York last year. That's how much of a fan I am of his. And we stayed in the New Yorker, is where he lived and died. The last 11 years of his life, he was there. So he is one of our greatest geniuses. Also Einstein, one of our greatest geniuses. And we admire these people because of their high IQ. But both Tesla and Einstein said that they relied on their intuition. Their intuition was where their genius was. Wow. Wow. Now the beauty about that, David, Ali, Suze, Sue, Emily, the beauty about that is that every single one of you has intuition. The only thing is you just need to develop it. You need to tap into it. And our research is showing, modern research is showing that intuition is real. Isn't that fantastic? Now it's evidence-based, it's not woo-woo. I also mentioned the invisible, okay? So you've heard about law of attraction professionals, or, people that teach law of attraction. They say that think about what you want and you'll have it. How many of you have been thinking about what you want and it still hasn't manifested, or you've manifested the small things but not the big things? Some of that has been, real for me. That I've tried to manifest by thinking the big things. Okay. Now, absolutely, you have a higher faculty of imagination. Your imagination is critical to your success. What you imagine, you give life to. Okay? But there is a big, big, big but in there. So you must imagine what you want. But what recent research shows, and this is not Suzana, again, I'm not making this up. Vigorous research shows that your thoughts, the energy, the frequency of your thoughts can be measured about an inch away, right, from your head, from your body. Guess how far the frequency of your heart can be measured. The magnetic waves of your heart. Does anyone want to guess? Let me just have a look at the chat box. I can't see it from here. Just a second, I'm pulling it up. Anyone want to guess? Sid started her business last year. Congratulations, Sid. Forever. Okay, great. What else? Anyone else want to have a guess? What does science show us? What do you think? So Sue says forever. Anyone else want to have a go? Just have a guess. Infinite? Okay. Okay, great. All right, let's stick with that. So the most recent research that I have seen in this is, so the HeartMath Institute measured 5 feet away, okay, on their monitors. There's also a study from Dr. Joe Dispenza from one of his workshops that he has. So I went to one of his workshops in 2016, and they plug all this stuff on your head and your heart and everything. So he has scientists that attend. He measured 9 meters away. Okay, but the thing is, the big but is here, because that's how far modern technology can measure, right? That's how far modern technology can measure. So what that means is that your magnetic waves from your heart go further than that, okay? Which we don't know exactly how far based on the modern technology of the time of that research. And technology is always improving. So I agree with Coach Sid and with Sue that it can, your heart magnetic wave, if it's coherent, if you are coherent, okay, goes on forever, okay? So both your imagination and your intuition or your feeling aligning with the thing that you want are just as important. Alignment is not just about feeling, by the way. It's a state of being, but I go deeper into that in my program. So if you're thinking it's just about feeling, yes, but there's so much more to that. So what happens is, so your thoughts are electric, your feelings are magnetic. They create the electromagnetic field, which taps into the quantum field. Aha, the invisible 99.9% of you. The quantum field is not out there, folks. Okay, it's within you, right? So if they're coherent, so if they're coherent, they're aligned. They're in harmony. If they're incoherent, they're everywhere. Remember what I said. The first law is order, right? You want order in all parts of yourself. Heart, mind, stomach, as well as the invisible, okay? So, we've just got some people joining. So, what also happens is when you have coherence in all parts of yourself, it leads to coherence and clear communication. We all can communicate better. Most of you are business people. How are sales going? This is a massive part of sales. How much flow, how much ease is there when clients come? Do you have ease in having clients? If not, okay, there's something that you need to change, something you need to shift, because you, just like the people that you'll see at the end of this presentation, you have the same potential as them. Okay, you are connected to the quantum field. Okay, so we're going to just take a pause for 1 minute. I'm going to show you one simple technique. I have a range of techniques that help you connect to your intuition, that help you make quick decisions, that help you calm your nervous system down, that help you expand your heart center. But we're just going to do one simple one today, okay? What I want you to do is just get still. Please get still. What I do is I put my heart on my hand on my chest. You don't have to do that. I might suggest you do just for this minute that we have together, you might want to close your eyes. You don't have to. All I want you to do is focus your attention in the area of your heart. And imagine your breath flowing in and out of your heart or chest area, breathing a little slower and deeper than usual. Find an easy rhythm that's comfortable. I just want you to stay with it for 30 seconds. Okay, just come back to this session. Okay, so you might want to practice that. Easy, easy. Remember, it doesn't have to be hard to align. It doesn't have to be hard to change those neural pathways in your brain. You don't have to sit in meditation for an hour every single day. If that's something that you would love to do, then that's fantastic. But there are other ways, okay? And a combination of both the breathing techniques that I'm including in my work, and meditation is great too. So here's what our clients have been saying just in the past few months. So on 1st of July, I put my goal in place for the next year. It is only November and I have already doubled my goal. It's from one of my incredible people that I absolutely love. Another one that we just spoke about, I think it was the week before last, it is the first week of January, and I have already brought in $39,396, and we have that beautiful being here. We've got both of them here today, actually. Message that I got that I was so thrilled. This was it was 6 months after my program, okay? So 18 months, didn't even have a business when she started with me. She just wanted to do something that was hers. She wanted to leave her job. I get this message with a video, and she showed me. So she said, "Hey, Suzana, I just wanted to send you a quick message to say thank you for everything you have done. Obviously, my goal was a swimming pool," and she walked outside, and they were digging the hole in her backyard for the swimming pool, and $1 million. And she sent me a photo of her screen, and it wasn't quite $1 million, it was 900,000, like over 900,000. And both are almost there. Okay, this is what's available to you, to your business, to your life. I know these are money examples, but you can apply the work of your two minds in anything that you do, whether it's your relationship, whether it's your, your business, whatever it was that you wrote down at the start of this session, you can have it. Okay, because they're 3 of hundreds of testimonials that we have received, literally hundreds, literally. Okay, they're the 3 one of the most recent ones. They are no different to you. They also have their challenges, their blocks. But one thing that is different to these people is they've made a decision and they do what it takes. Some of them keep investing in themselves, okay? I've been doing this work literally all of my life. I remember as a child, people coming to me. I just had this ability to see into their soul, to see what's available to them and to help them break through. I don't even know how I did that. And I was one of those children where babies would come and also 80-year-olds will say, "Is Susie going to be home when we come and visit you?" Okay? And then obviously my adult life and my studies that I pursued. And I tell you one thing that I know 100% for sure, 100% for sure, you are no different, Amy, Coach Sid, David, you are no different to anyone else. Within you, you too have infinite potential. You just need to know how to tap into it and use it for your goal, for your life. The great thing about this is I've achieved many goals. My clients have achieved many goals. But I tell you, the best thing about doing the work, and I promise you this, is who you become. You see, the material stuff can potentially go. I have had experience with my great success that I have manifested absolutely everything apart from one thing, and that's having children. That's something that's that is always going to be there for me. Okay, I don't tell that to everybody, but you're lucky enough to be here where it just came out. I have absolutely manifested everything, every single thing. 7-figure business, the beautiful relationship, where I wanted to live, and I've also experienced, that going too, some of it going, okay, because that's life. And I say that because whatever your goal is, it is meant to be yours. It is meant to be yours. But the material elements will leave us eventually. Okay? People go, people die. Eventually, we will die. I remembered, I mentioned my mentor and dear friend Bob Proctor earlier. And Bob and I used to send emails to each other every single day. Every single day there was an email coming in from Bob and me sending one back. And I remember, I can't to this day, I don't remember the questions I asked him. I just remember some of the things that came back from him. And one of the things he said to me is, you see, Suzana, he said, and I want you to open up to this idea. He said, nothing is ours. Nothing belongs to us in this life. He said, your house, your money, your jewelry, whatever it is, we are just borrowing it all. Because one day we're going to leave. We're going to leave this body. We're going to leave this life. And all of that will be left behind and someone else will take it. So we get so attached to things. But what I have learnt is the beauty of this work as you're moving towards that desire, towards that goal, towards the thing that is so deeply within your heart that you don't know how. The best gift is the diamonds that start to shine within yourself. They are lying dormant within you right now. You don't even know who you are. I didn't know who I was. I thought I was Suzana, how I was, all those years ago. But boy, oh boy, oh boy, when you start doing this work, when you start achieving those goals, like those 3 incredible people that I shared their testimonials with you, when you start doing the work, what happens is those diamonds start to shine and you become a more expanded version of you. And you know what? That's the part of you that nobody can take away. Whether you're here, when you're gone, that's the only thing you're going to take with you. So, if you're serious about achieving your goal, if you want to be like many of the people at Your Two Minds, I have an invitation for you. You might want to scan the little QR code there to find out more. What's included, you have 2 options. You have a 3-month option. Okay, you get an app with that. You get a guidebook and worksheets. You get obviously weekly lessons and the recordings and daily tools and practices. I've mentioned just one today. Okay, you become a member of an incredible community. If you want to step up and take the elite program, which is 5,555, you can just see the details when you scan. You'll get an additional of some one-on-one sessions, so 3 one-on-one sessions. Okay, you can use one of those sessions for an intuitive guidance session, so we can go deep. into your intuition, and you can have 6 months access to the weekly live recordings. So if you're ready, make that decision now. Make it the decision now so that you can become who you've always wanted to be. I thank you all for being with me today. I will reach out to you all in the next couple of days. I look forward to working with you. Those that make decisions quickly are the winners. Okay, and I remember back in 31st of January 2017 was my last day of full-time employment. Okay, I decided to finally go for the thing that I wanted for many, many years. Finally decided to pursue that dream and make the impact in the way that I wanted to make an impact in the world. And I remember in February 2017, I was listening to, I would listen to my mentor. I was listening to Bob Proctor on the way to work for at least 10 years. And as I was driving to work, most people did not even know who Bob was then. He's become quite famous in the past 5 years. Most people didn't know who he was. It was just aligned with my purpose, and I would listen to him. I wouldn't watch. I'd be watching the road, and I was the person on stage with Bob, and we were friends. This was before I even knew I could work with him. Anyway, 31st of January 2017 was my last day of full-time employment. And when I made that move, it was scary. I had to change. It actually took me over a year to get momentum in my business. And the reason was because I had great success. My whole career I had great success, but I had success in a job. I was always paid by someone else. And I remember February 2017, I was watching a live stream of Paradigm Shift with Bob Proctor, and he said 2 things to me, and I'll share one with you. I will never, ever, ever forget. He said, winners make decisions quickly and change them slowly. And he said, losers make decisions slowly and change them quickly. I did not want to be a loser. I knew I had to do what it takes to win. The other thing he said, those that invest in themselves are the ones that get the results. When you understand money, and I have a money magnet program, isn't it fantastic, guys, that have done the program? Brilliant. Okay, you understand what you're giving out is coming back, how money circulates. So he said, those that invest in themselves will win. Okay? Those that don't do not deserve to win. So if you're ready, you have one of the top people in the world. I'm not saying that to impress you. You've seen my credentials. You've seen what I've spoken a little bit about what I have manifested in my own life. And you've seen my testimonials. Please do jump on board. Thank you so much. I'm here for you. I absolutely love seeing people break through. I might just stay back for a couple of minutes just to see if anyone has any questions. I'm going to turn the recording off right now, just in case there are questions. Otherwise, I will see you all in our community. Thank you so much. Have an incredible week. Just going to turn off the recording now.